You know that feeling like there's some kind of hidden order to the world? A secret language that some people just get almost instinctively? Well, that's what this is all about. We're going to decode it. All right, let's just jump right in with the big question, right? What is it that separates the innovators, the visionaries, the geniuses from the rest of us? Is it just that they're smarter, or is it something else entirely, like a completely different way of seeing the world? Well, the answer is they're fluent in a language that's hiding in plain sight. They've somehow tapped into this underlying structure, this incredible web of connections and repeating patterns that most of us just walk right past. And look, it's not magic. It's really a kind of literacy. So, the question is, where do we even begin to learn this language? Well, the best place to start is where the code is written in big, bold letters, all around us, in the natural world. This is our first clue. Okay, so one of the most fundamental words in this language is something called the Fibonacci sequence. Now, the rule is super simple. You just add the last two numbers to get the next one. But this simple little sequence, it's like nature's absolute favorite building block. You see it everywhere, from the petals on a flower to the way trees branch out. And here's where it gets kind of mind-blowing. This shows you the sheer scale of what we're talking about. The exact same mathematical spiral that you see in the growth of a tiny nautilus shell, well, it also shapes the arms of a galaxy that's 100,000 light years across. Think about that. It is the same pattern, just written at unbelievably different scales. So the big takeaway here is that the universe isn't just random chaos. It follows rules. It has a kind of script. Whether you're looking super close at the veins on a leaf or zooming out to see how a river carves its way to the sea, you're basically reading the same fundamental language. But okay, here's the thing. This language isn't just for nature. This same universal grammar pops up in pretty much every single aspect of human thought and everything we create. I mean, just look at this list. Art, music, economics, even human history and big data. What could these things possibly have in common? Well, they all run on these deep underlying patterns. Think about it. The predictable rise and fall of empires throughout history, that's a pattern, a cycle that repeats. Or how about the surprisingly regular 18-year real estate cycles that shape our entire economy? It's all there. You just have to know how to look for it. Okay, let me give you a really cool example. You know the principles of rhythm and harmony that make a symphony just sound beautiful? Well, those are the very same principles of proportion and balance that make a giant cathedral feel so completely awe-inspiring. They're just different ways of expressing the exact same universal grammar of what feels right to us. And this brings us right back to where we started. We've seen the language, we've seen the code, so now let's make that crucial connection to what we call genius and really decode how the mind of a true innovator works. It really all boils down to one core skill: pattern recognition. It's the ability to look at what seems like a total mess of chaotic, unrelated stuff and somehow see the hidden order. It's finding the signal in all that noise. This is the engine that drives insight. And this whole process, it's not some big mystery. It's actually a pretty clear sequence. First, you're just observing things that seem totally separate, things nobody else thinks are related. Then, you spot it. You recognize an underlying pattern that connects them. And that recognition is what lets you forge a brand new connection, a new idea. Boom. That's the spark of innovation. And this is why it's so incredibly powerful. See, recognizing patterns isn't just about passively understanding what happened in the past. No, it's an active tool. When you truly get the underlying pattern of a system, you can start to predict what it's going to do next. Even better, you can create something totally new that works with that pattern instead of against it. So here's the best news of all. This is not some magical ability you have to be born with. It's a skill. It's something you can actually develop. So for this final part, we're going to talk about how you can start learning this language and really unlock your own perception. Okay, so here are some real actionable things you can do. Start looking for analogies and parallels everywhere. Actively, and I mean actually, question your own core assumptions about why things work the way they do. Practice shifting your focus, zooming in on the tiny details, and then zooming way out to see the big picture. But honestly, maybe the most important one is this. Go study something completely outside of your own field. That's how you break out of your own mental ruts and start to see the truly universal patterns. And you know, when you start to see the world this way, it doesn't make it less chaotic or boring. It's actually the complete opposite.
It reveals this hidden elegance, this wonderfully intricate and beautiful logic that connects everything. All that chaos suddenly has a rhythm to it.
So let's end with this thought. This language, it's everywhere. It's written in the stars, it's built into our cities, it's even coded into our own DNA. The script is just waiting to be read. So now that you know it's there, what will you discover?